Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
No announcement had ever traveled this quietly and landed this loudly. There was no countdown, no teasing montage, no emotional warning. Just a single confirmation that appeared and instantly altered the atmosphere across screens, time zones, and fandom spaces. Officially confirmed. Zhao Lusi and Dylan Wang will stand on the same live stage at D.Party Macau on January 17th, 2026. Not in a drama, not in a filmed segment, not behind characters or scripts. Live, present, real. And the moment those words settled in, something shifted. People did not just read the news, they felt it. Timelines stalled, conversations paused mid-sentence. Because everyone understood this was not a routine collaboration announcement. This was a moment that could not be edited, softened, or reinterpreted later. It was happening exactly as stated, and once it did, there would be no way to rewind it. For some it felt exhilarating, for others unsettling, but for everyone watching it felt important. This was the kind of confirmation that pulls people closer to their screens, lowers their voices without realizing it, and creates a shared silence before the noise arrives. And when the noise came, it came all at once. The confirmation itself was simple and direct. Zhao Lusi has been officially announced as a special guest performer at Dylan Wang's D.Party concert in Macau, scheduled for January 17th, 2026. No symbolic wording, no playful ambiguity. Just clarity. In an industry that often thrives on suggestion rather than certainty, this directness carried unusual weight. Within minutes, ticket platforms surged. Fans who already held seats suddenly felt as if they were holding something rarer than admission. They felt chosen by timing, chosen by circumstance, chosen to witness a night that would be discussed long after the lights dimmed. But beyond the immediate excitement, a deeper layer began to form. This was not just about two high-profile names sharing a stage. It was about context, about timing, about what each of them represented at this specific point in their journeys. For Zhao Lusi, this appearance carries a meaning that goes far beyond the label of guest performer. It marks her first major live stage presence of 2026 in front of a large audience. Not framed by a character, not protected by retakes or post-production. This is not a return as someone audiences watch from a distance through a screen. This is a return as someone who stands within the same air as her audience, hearing reactions in real time, responding with her own energy rather than a rehearsed response. There is quiet strength in that choice. It signals confidence without announcement, growth without explanation, a willingness to be seen as she is now, rather than as who people remember. That alone reshapes how this moment is read. For Dylan Wang, D.Party was already positioned as more than a concert. It was a declaration of his evolution from screen presence to live performer, from familiar image to expanding artistic identity. Opening that stage to Zhao Lusi transforms the event again. It becomes not just a personal milestone, but a shared statement. It suggests trust, professional respect, and perhaps most importantly, an understanding of the emotional weight such a choice carries. Inviting someone into your live space is different from sharing a project. It means accepting unpredictability, accepting interpretation, accepting reaction without filters. That decision in itself speaks volumes. As reactions spread, the emotional landscape grew complex. Joy was immediate and visible. Messages poured in describing disbelief, excitement, and a sense of destiny. Many fans described the date as instantly unforgettable, as if January itself had been rewritten. Yet beneath the celebration, another feeling surfaced quietly. Discomfort, not anger, not hostility, but a subtle resistance that did not need to shout to be heard. In certain corners of fandom culture, the announcement felt like a disruption of something long held. Not because the collaboration was inappropriate, but because it challenged a carefully maintained emotional structure. For some, this moment asked a difficult question. What happens when reality steps beyond the boundaries of fantasy? This is where the story deepens, because the tension surrounding this announcement is not rooted in rivalry or rejection. It is rooted in emotional investment. Fandoms are built on connection, loyalty, and shared imagination. Over time, those elements can blur into something more fragile, a sense of ownership, a fear of change, a discomfort when idols make choices that exist outside the narratives fans have protected. This announcement did not break any rules. It simply reminded people that there were never rules to begin with, that artists grow, collaborate, and choose paths that may not always align perfectly with expectations. What makes this moment remarkable is not the presence of tension, but the response to it. Alongside uncertainty, another voice emerged, quieter, steadier, fans who chose reflection over reaction. They reminded others that admiration does not grant control, that support does not require restriction, that allowing artists to move freely is not a loss, but a sign of trust. These voices did not dominate headlines, but they reshaped the atmosphere. Slowly, the emotional temperature shifted from confrontation to contemplation, from reaction to understanding. Beyond fandom dynamics, this event also reflects a broader change within the entertainment landscape. The boundaries between acting, music, and public presence are becoming more fluid. Audiences are no longer satisfied with perfectly managed images alone. There is growing appreciation for moments that feel unfiltered, even if they carry uncertainty. A live stage, shared by two figures with significant emotional histories in the public eye, becomes more than a performance. It becomes a conversation, one where presence itself carries meaning. Imagine the night itself, the lights dimming across the venue, the collective pause as anticipation settles into silence. Zhao Lusi stepping forward, not to deliver a statement, not to redefine herself or anyone else, but simply to exist within the moment. Dylan Wang beside her, not as a headline, but as an artist welcoming another into his space. No dramatic declarations required, no explanation offered, just a shared stage and the honesty of being there. That image alone has already shifted how people talk about this event, because it reframes the narrative from speculation to substance. This is why the announcement resonates so deeply, not because it promises spectacle, but because it represents courage. Courage to collaborate without over-clarifying. Courage to trust audiences with reality rather than carefully curated impressions. Courage to allow interpretation without attempting to control it. Macau on that night will not simply host a concert, it will host a moment of transition, a reminder that growth is not always loud, but it is always felt. As January 17th approaches, the anticipation has changed in tone. It no longer feels frantic or chaotic. It feels deliberate, thoughtful, almost reverent. People are not just waiting to see what will happen. They are waiting to experience how it will feel, because moments like this are not measured by minutes on a stage, but by the conversations they spark and the emotions they surface long after the final note fades. If this announcement stirred excitement, hesitation, nostalgia, or quiet reflection within you, that response matters. There is no correct way to feel about a moment that represents change. What matters is allowing those feelings to exist without forcing them into labels, because pop culture reaches its greatest significance not when it is flawless, but when it mirrors the complexity of real human growth. And if you value stories that go beyond headlines, stories that explore what moments like this truly mean, Update X Handoi Minori 4H is here for you. Thank you for spending this time with us, for listening, for reflecting, and for being part of a community that chooses depth over noise. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss future updates and real-life stories that shape the entertainment world in meaningful ways. Your support allows us to continue bringing thoughtful, timely, and emotionally grounded content to audiences around the world. We appreciate you, and we look forward to sharing the next moment with you.